Well, this is the Maoist rebel doing a voiceover for Children of the Secret State, a supposed documentary about North Korea and how poor and evil they are. Now, this was made by a company called Discovery Times. Discovery, not really good at discovering the truth, so perhaps they should probably stick with science instead of politics or, truth. Yes, he's delirious of hunger for that one moment where he just stumbled a bit, which I do.
Close by, adults are eating, but they ignore him. Walk past him.
And yet, neither does the cameraman. And a very interesting aspect to this is that you can totally tell this is North Korea. You see the woman who just walked by in civilian clothing carrying a gun? Now, North Korea doesn't have gun rights. So, could you explain to me why this woman is just walking around North Korea with a rifle? Because if they don't have gun rights, then this woman's breaking the law and she's probably going to go to jail. That makes sense. So there's a poor kid eating food off the ground, which is, by the way, bullshit from people who can't get in the country, supposedly. Actually, the famine where people didn't have food was in the 1990s after the fall of the Soviet Union. Not after 2010, and not even really in the 2000s. This footage, if it's even real, would be from the 90s. You have no home? No. Well, what is the kid supposed to do? Tell strangers where they live? Do you really expect to walk up to a kid and just start asking them about where they live? And they're just going to tell you? Yeah, he could face execution. Actually, I wouldn't be that sad if he did. Assuming I'm even supposed to believe he's a North Korean. Which I don't. Well, now you know what it's like to be black in America.
But I have to do it. I have to do it so my people can live.
Yes, assuming that you even are a North Korean.
First escaped from North Korea in 1997.
Oh, he escaped, got back, and brought a camera with him, apparently.
Since he escaped, he slipped back several times.
And we can totally tell because he won't even show his face. So we can totally tell this is a real claim being made and not by an actor. Oh, I like that. Stalinist. See, even when Stalin's dead, and dead for like 50 years, it's still his fault for things. Oh, we can't name the North Korean town. No, that would be giving too specific a location. And then we'd be able to question it because we'd know where it is and we'd be able to at least even go on Google Earth to look it up. But no, we're not allowed to know the name of where it is. And you can totally tell these kids are North Korean too. A scene from any Christian Children Fund footage. For any one of their advertisements for stuff. Oh, here we go with the child stalking again. That's weird. The uniforms are green, and those aren't North Korean uniforms. That's awfully strange. Oh, according to the South Koreans, who are their blood-fucking enemy. Oh, that makes sense. Which we saw the adult throw away, right? No. Of course, you jump cut it away from that and not show it. The kid's not answering you. Even in the original footage, the kid doesn't answer him. He's probably ignoring the creep that's following him around with a camera asking him questions about his family.
Pretends they don't exist.
Yeah, sure they don't.
This boy is so weak with hunger, he can barely speak to Unchol.
Maybe because he doesn't want to. Because the guy with the camera is a stranger who's probably creeping the kid out. Because he doesn't want to tell you where it is, you freak. My God, I mean, you can't just walk up to random kids and ask them where they live and think they're all just going to tell you where. Jesus.
The mud-caked town, like most of North Korea, is sealed off from all foreigners, even aid workers.
Yeah, sure they are. Which is why the Amnesty International knows, not Amnesty International, but the one that was saying how the kids were starving know about it, right? Yeah.
I've applied to come to North Korea too, to get both sides of the story.
Yeah, sure you did. You came to be objective about North Korea, which we could tell totally from the starting of it. Yes, journalists aren't allowed to go there, except for all the ones that actually did.
Like Unchol, if they catch me, they'll probably just throw me in.
Well, I wish they had, because you're full of shit.
I've joined one of the few small groups of Westerners allowed in by North Korea each year.
Unless you're a tourist, then you can just pretty much just go.
This country, likely to be quite different from what Unchol will find. Posing as my companion, camerawoman Anna Roberts.
So, you just said you were going. And of course he's just letting you film him say that he's censoring what you're allowed to see and hear. Oh, you mean the image that we don't get because you've completely blocked people from being able to hear anything from them? That image that we don't see?
North Korea's capital, like a multi-million-dollar film set. They've taken around its monuments, built at crippling expense. They glorify North Korea's founding father, hand-picked by Stalin.
Oh, yes. Stalin hand-picked the guy, and that's totally believable, because this is the first time I'm hearing of it, and I even know anti-communist propaganda. I like how it's at the expense of the people, which is completely different from capitalism, and the fact that state funds paid for it when the state was relatively new and was actually exploding in the 50s and the 40s, doing very well. Oh.
This building was unveiled in 1982.
This is taller than the one in France.
Oh, the random pictures that you're not allowed to take.
10 meters high.
We get a stream of propaganda. Image here is everything.
Which is totally different than everywhere else. Oh, there we go. The TVs that are constantly being said that North Koreans aren't allowed to own.
Kim Jong-il, dispenser of wisdom for the workers.
Close-up shots of a television. Is that supposed to be art?
Kim Jong-il, commander-in-chief of the army.
No, he's not. He's the leader. Oh, and look at all the starving people, too. Man, they move really well for starving people.
The dear leader.
Dear leader, it's a title.
But little in Pyongyang is what it seems.
Oh, really?
I'm told it's a bustling metropolis.
No, actually, they don't call it a bustling metropolis. And by the way, the reason why there's not many people there is because it's a weekday, and people are at work.
So its people are industrious, but we don't see anyone working.
Because they're at work.
There's a fun fair here, but no one's having fun.
Because it's on a weekday, if the place is even open for the season.
Boulevards, but hardly any cars.
Because it's hard to manufacture cars, and when you block people from being able to import cars, you asshole.
Even our hotel is virtually empty. It's a 46-story skyscraper, but most of the floors are vacant.
Well, when you have some people blocking you and banning people from going into your country, it's kind of hard to fill the tourist industry, isn't it? Why are you whispering? Oh, because they're against people starving? Arr. That's just insane. Well, of course, you're a tourist.
What I'm seeing is unlike anything he's filmed outside the capital.
You're saying a tourist restaurant serves better food than people normally do in their home? Well, no shit, stupid.
Taken to dress rehearsals for the parade so loved by the dear leader. The children here are the sons and daughters of the elite. We're not allowed to talk to them.
Probably because they're in the middle of practicing, you dumb fuck. And show some evidence that they're the children of the so-called elite? Which runs counter to everything you were just saying at the beginning of the video. That's like saying there's no poor people in, what, America? There's no poor people in other countries? Oh, here comes the sad music again. And the kid that you can totally tell is actually North Korean. From the town whose name you won't give us. And he didn't try to drink it. It looked like he was actually playing in the water. Again, this creepo's going around asking kids personal questions. And then it's when they don't answer him, it's, oh, they don't have a home. Kid's probably not trying to answer you, asshole. Stop following children around with a hidden camera. Yeah, it's almost like maybe Korean might not even be his actual language. You notice he's not even answering you?
She's small for her age, stunted. The hair is turning a lighter color.
And we can tell because we know how old she is, right? Actually, she didn't say anything. You're putting words in her mouth. She's not trying to drink the water. She's playing with it. Like, come on, asshole. I mean, this is really, really hollow propaganda. Kid didn't even talk to you. Yet you made all these assumptions about her. Oh, Kim Il-jung's chosen ones. He totally went down, picked them out, and put them up. Well, look, it's children singing and playing music, but not scantily clad like they are in the West. Well, there's kids singing, so therefore they must be chosen by the omnipotent overlord of North Korea, obviously. Oh, that's actually a pretty good voice. I don't know what this is supposed to be. The children are the future. All three parties, or are you insinuating it's just the one Korean Workers' Party? Never mind the other three and the 13 independents that are also in the government. Oh, clearly this must be brainwashing, because there's the figure of the guy who founded the country up on the screen, which is totally different from the gigantic monuments to, you know, Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, and, many others, or say, I don't know, the Washington Monument. Yep, completely different than all the monuments to the Founding Fathers. Oh, here comes the scary music, but they're going to show a poor kid again. Oh, psychic powers. Standing next to the so-called soldier who has the wrong, the wrong uniform on. And creepo following kids around. The kid who looks pretty much just like the adults. Yeah, some kids never pick food off the ground either.
It's time to leave Pyongyang. Time to join Un Chol, the undercover cameraman, who has gathered very different images of North Korea's children.
Oh yeah, the guy that we can't see, can't know his name or see where he recorded the footage from, or know where he recorded the footage. Oh, he might not make it out alive. Oh no. Jesus, this is so fucking hollow. Rain. Yeah, it rains all the time in North Korea too. That's why people are so depressed. Because it rains all the time.
We're here at the River Tumen, the border between North Korea and China.
Well, at least we know exactly where it is.
It's not that fast flowing, but it's a treacherous escape route for thousands of North Koreans seeking refuge from tyranny and
Which we don't have any statistics on at all, but I'm sure you were probably quoting some study, right?
We've arrived in the border area between North Korea and China. It's a very dangerous place for the North Korean refugees. It's not even right for us to spend too much time.
Yeah, and you can totally tell by all the security officials that are standing around watching to make sure people don't leave, right?
It's illegal to film at the border, even from the Chinese side.
Hey, it's also illegal to film the border between Canada and the United States.
To their pictures.
And of course nobody notices you holding the camera.
The North Korean border guards watch the river closely.
Oh, both of them apparently. Apparently they're watching a border crossing.
Hide in bunkers set in the bank.
In case they get shot at.
Their orders: shoot to kill.
Oh, and you've provided, proof of that, right? Oh no, wait, actually you just said it.
Chinese authorities deport all the refugees they catch. Hundreds are forced back to North Korea every week.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, and you have the statistics to prove that up, back that up, right?
This busload of refugees face beatings. Even if
Oh, and we can tell they're refugees too. Well, actually, we can't even see their faces.
locals caught helping the refugees are threatened with fines and imprisonment.
It's like illegal immigration is a crime.
Soon people escaping,
Interesting.
and those who fail.
A dead person in the water.
Arranged to meet Munchar
Okay.
on the Chinese side of the border. They want to see his latest pictures. But he fails to turn up.
He must be dead.
He should have left North Korea by now.
Oh, there's the deserted.
Chinese border town of Yanji, where ethnic Koreans have lived for centuries.
Because it's a very close border situation.
Refugees try to hide amongst them.
And these must be pictures of them right now.
The air is heavy with paranoia and suspicion.
Which you can totally tell from the video footage of a bustling market.
Journalists are not wanted here, so again, he's played a tourist.
Except for the guy walking around holding the camera.
While I wait for Chol, I'm eager to talk to the North Korean refugees, find out what's really going on in a country closed off from the rest of the
Because of you.
But they're frightened. They could be deported just for security. One family agrees, so long as their identities
Oh, once again, an unconfirmable source.
before they escape.
And you can totally tell it's not an actor.
Many people die of hunger each day. Many die by so
When? In the mid-90s, when the famine was actually happening?
They saw a whole family dead under a bridge. My father thought it would be better to die than to live on.
I'm sure that story's true, too. Right. I mean, come on, this is a completely unverifiable source. So why exactly are we supposed to take this as true? And we have another person who doesn't show their face, doesn't have their name, doesn't say where they lived, or anything like that, or when they left, or anything like that. Which is verifiable. Verifiable how? Oh. Oh, man. They died instantaneously. They were just gone.
The friends who died.
If I could give you an Oscar, I would. Still more unverifiable claims. It's amazing. They have the bravery to speak up, but they won't actually say anything.
Desperation has led many North Korean orphans to risk crossing the river to China. Children wade some of the way and swim. In winter, it's freezing. Only the strongest ones make it.
Was that supposed to be footage of them doing it? So they just let some anonymous person stand there watching them illegally cross the border, knowing that there's police spies everywhere? Yeah, I think maybe they're probably playing in the water.
How long have you been here?
How long have they been where? In China? Living in a spot, or?
5 days. They agreed to show me where they're living. Through the back streets, we arrive at a building site. The boys' home on an upper floor is off limits in daytime. They climb in the dark up a half-built staircase.
So, probably like that they're squatting. I mean, did you ask them how long they've been squatting there? Can we see you ask them if they're North Koreans who've escaped? No.
The boys are frightened, not least because there was a major roundup of refugees last month. 300 North
And which month was that?
here back across the border.
Oh, you're not going to tell us. Oh, okay.
Construction site. They spend their days trying to catch money, trying to catch clothes from the locals. Many of them say they crossed the river more than once to take money back to their parents in North Korea.
Oh, damn. Hard to do with those border guards watching all the time from their underground bunkers.
I travelled further along the river to another Chinese border town. Hanchal has still not appeared, but friends of his helped me find more North Korean orphans.
And you're going to ask them if they're North Korean orphans, right?
This boy's parents starved to death. In a matter-of-fact way, he tells me something that sounds incredible. Hunger has pushed some in North Korea into cannibalism.
Oh, here we go with the claims of cannibalism again.
If you bought human flesh without knowing it, it was alright. But those people who killed someone and sold the flesh, or ate the flesh, those people were shot to death. Of course it was sold in secret. It was sold as pork. I understand human flesh tastes like that. So you don't know what's there.
Oh, so it went from them being so desperate to eat human flesh to somebody not telling you it's human flesh. Oh, okay, so the story's just completely changed.
This story is not unique.
Oh, really?
I'm shown pictures drawn by another.
Oh, wow. Now we can't even get the guy hiding behind a screen in a silhouette. Now we've got drawing... Oh, pictures drawn. Yes, yes. And we can totally tell these are real, too. Damn. For a kid with, you know, is uneducated and he's... doesn't have access to food. He certainly has access to pencil crayons, which I'm sure that you probably supposedly gave him. Well, we didn't get a picture of it, which was supposed to be pork, and you could totally tell they were trying to disguise as pork by looking like human parts. Yeah, well, it's that one kid who didn't really exactly say what you were claiming that he said.
then, fortunately, he saw human flesh being sold in the market.
Oh, a friend of a friend. Okay. That's reliable testimony.
Himself saw someone being arrested for selling it.
So now he's not even making the claim. Somebody he knows, or he knows, is making the claim. The one that was disguised as pork? Well, now it's not disguised. Well, which is it?
To the Chinese just over the border, the idea that North Koreans could murder people for food is disturbing. Food is plentiful here. These children are well fed.
Must have been the return of capitalism. Well, if you're forgetting all the starving people in the countryside since the return of capitalism, but no. Nice insinuation that there's no poor people in China either. I'm beginning to suspect Ann Show maybe doesn't exist. Yep, because that'll totally hide you. Fucking a white guy walking around with a camera. No one suspects a thing. And you just creep that girl out. I see pedo.
We could get arrested for filming across the border.
Yes, just like you actually can in Canada and the United States as well.
This is Busan, one of North Korea's largest industrial cities. Estimated population 200,000.
Oh, at least we got the name of the place this time.
But it looks like a ghost town. The mine is abandoned.
Probably because it's done. Maybe they dug up everything that was there.
The factories are shut down.
Which you can totally tell from this distance. Oh!
The only sign of life is the army, practicing martial arts. North Korea has officially recognized its food crisis, but not the crisis in its economy. By most estimates, industrial activity has ground.
Actually, the North Korean economy expanded last year, and the famine was in the 90s, not in the 2000s.
It tells me why all commerce there stopped.
Because
To eat, to live, the poorest classes have stripped down the factories to sell the parts. The factories have been taken apart bit by bit and have stopped running. 70 to 80% of the factories are dead.
80% of the factories. Wow.
Still starving.
That's strange.
The orphan
Their economy expanded, but apparently this guy, who I will give him credit, is actually showing his face.
from hunger. They are lying on the streets.
Oh my god. But you didn't manage to get footage of that, did you?
You can see they're starving.
Except on camera.
The starving children were causing trouble. So the government took over a hostel and put children there.
You mean even if this story is true, the state provided for starving and homeless children?
Fits with other reports
Oh my
about
god. Are they a bunch of communists?
in North Korea, he snatched a picture of one of the hostels.
Oh,
Detention centers for homeless.
yes. When you provide housing for homeless and starving children, it's called a detention center. Oh, they're denied medical care and deliberately left to die. Wow. There's totally evidence of that, right?
Unshol found a boy whose mother and younger brother had starved to death. The boy said
That's
he'd
a
been forced
picture of a random building. You're talking about the same place, right? And you're hiding the kid's face again. Kids have accidents? Yes, that prison. Yes, I know children have died there. He didn't say yes, they're trying to escape. We could tell from all the locked windows on there and the bars around the building. Which you just asked him about and he just confirmed, right? Yeah, sure.
I talked to a family of refugees who escaped from another part of North Korea.
Another family of people who don't show their faces. Forced into a hostel.
They put in a place where these children are housed. She didn't get any exercise. She saw other children dying, so she ran away. This girl was about 9. 9.
Oh, I'm guessing that's not her.
Miserable from hunger. There are still many children suffering.
That's supposed to be her, but if she's standing right there, then wouldn't you be able to ask her? No, we've got a story about a person we can't confirm the identity of with a picture of a person that we know it's not, and trying to associate the two to make it look more believable.
All the North Koreans we meet here in China face heavy punishment if they're sent back. The refugee we're about to meet...
That illegal immigration is against the law? They'd be executed for talking to you. Proof? Could you show me the North Korean law book that says that? No. Is that different from the Mexicans who are imprisoned and tortured if they legally cross into the United States?
The crop he was ordered to grow won't feed starving children.
Oh, and he can tell where his food goes, too.
Yaktambe, in English, opium.
Oh, now North Koreans grow opium.
Flowers were white and brown.
Wow.
We carve it 3
That's a new one.
with a knife, like this.
I've never heard drug trafficking claims out of North Korea before, but I guess there's a first time for everything.
Very white. We pick it with a knife.
And we could tell this guy's a North Korean farmer, too,
That is pure resin.
who, again, whose face doesn't get shown, doesn't say where the farm is.
It's processed 3 times and made into a drug.
Yeah, now apparently North Korea traffics drugs.
Estimated North Korea's revenue from illegal drugs is between $500 million and $1 billion a year.
Wow.
Congress's North Korea Advisory Group estimates North Korea is using up to 17,000 acres of prime agricultural land to grow not food, but opium to be processed and sold.
Well, that is definitely a new one for me, and I've heard a lot of the lies about the place. And we can totally tell this is true because the United States, and particularly Congress, would never lie about a foreign country, right? Because they've always told the truth about countries in the past, and particularly communist and socialist ones. They've always told the truth about them, right?
All other crops and plant the yaktambe in the best soil.
Verifiable claim, of course, because you can show us these farms?
It was bad.
No.
There was the state.
Because that was a regular farm you just showed in, not one of the ones, one of the illegal drug farms, because you would have said that on a voiceover on it, but you didn't. You just left it up there without saying anything, thus thus implying that it was.
Yes, that's correct.
He's risking his life in the hope that by talking to us, he might change something.
And again, they don't tell us where these drug farms are. Although he seems to be able to show his eyes. No fear with that.
There's still no sign of Ahn Chol. He's still inside North Korea.
Still say he's not real.
The man who first gave him a secret camera. The leader of Rank, a group of exiles based in Japan who are opposed to the North Korean government.
Yeah. Is that kind of like the Cuban exiles? You know, the Cubans that live in Miami and hate Castro, and he's such a monster, and Cuba is so oppressive, and even though the poverty rate among Cubans is lower in Cuba than it is in Miami. So basically what we're being told is that this guy hates North Korea. And okay, well, I believe him if he says that. And we're waiting for this so-called cameraman to show up. And we know a group that hates North Korea would totally be objective in its description and speakings of it. Wow. He personally went after that one guy?
We could be arrested. I'm reluctant to leave without Ahn Chol, but I must. I head for the place North Koreans can only dream of going, the South.
Tense music. Well, I would say puppet more like.
But my thoughts,
When you're forced to follow, it's more like a puppet.
I'm Joel, the undercover cameraman, will still be inside. I'm worried he's become one of North Korea's 200,000 political prisoners.
Oh, yeah. Another figure that's totally provable. Because remember, communists only ever lock up people who have a beautiful message to share with the world.
Have managed to flee and start new lives.
And yet not one of them has managed to actually show any ID that they're actually from North Korea. I'm not saying it doesn't happen,
Prison camps, the one in
but you could give us proof once in a while. And all these people they're showing right now, they were totally all North Koreans and they just left. And they seem to have snuck exactly right into the richest part of town.
claims simply don't exist.
Okay, so...
Escape
Well, how come this guy
the men, but the whole
isn't afraid of being killed by the North Korean government?
not compared such a large
Because all those other ones, they were sure they were going to die if their face was shown on camera. But this guy, apparently he's okay.
border from China, hidden behind these mountains.
So he was in jail. And of course, he would only could possibly have ever been arrested for was disagreeing with the government. Ooh, artwork that we can totally tell was proven by him, probably written by him. Well, I guess it's the next best thing to evidence is drawings of what evidence looks like.
It was a family camp where they were imprisoned because of something their fathers, husbands, or sons had.
Oh my god, now it's North Korea locks up people because of something their parents do. It's kind of like the Klingons from Star Trek. The sins of the father shall be passed on to the sons. Worf Bin Moog has been disowned by the Klingon government. Yes, because prisoners are treated like human beings in the United States, right? Oh, a scary picture of offense.
Who could shoot to kill.
You mean like in the United States?
One confirms reports by refugees that the guards are rewarded for killing escaping prisoners.
Yeah, I'm sure you got proof of that too, huh?
Sometimes they order them to climb the fence just so they can shoot them.
Ooh. Totally a backed up claim. No, but then again, that's the profit motive and you can't go against that.
If the woman becomes pregnant, she's the one in trouble.
Again, a verifiable claim, right?
It says pregnant women were sent to another part of the family camp.
Oh, a place where pregnant women can be treated? And not forced into labor and given an easier time and special attention? Brr.
Very cruel. Many women died this way.
Oh, you got drawn pictures of them too?
Some of the methods are too horrible to repeat.
Oh my god. This is to be like the forced abortions thing in China? Yes, the North Koreans are so evil, they just carve up pregnant women to get the babies out.
Body, not long dead.
A woman died during childbirth? Well, is that supposed to be a surprise? It happens quite a lot.
Some here and there, and her abdomen was crawling with maggots. The
Sure.
had been chopped up. It was so repulsive. I quickly covered her body with soil.
Right.
Suffered brutal treatment.
Accusations that are backed up by a drawing. Hey, I could do that. I could say anything. Oh, now children are forced into hard labor. And they're attacked by dogs. My God.
Former prisoners.
Many foreign prisoners. Many former prisoners. Like...
Is a child with North Korea's prison camps.
both these guys? Yeah, children go to jail.
Was sent to the camp at Debunking.
Well, it's funny, because usually the children are forced into these orphanages where they're prisoners.
He and other children were forced to watch, even take part.
Oh, my God, you could not... They made kids throw rocks at prisoners.
If you didn't join in throwing stones. There was no
Well, assuming this story is true, that's completely different than a boy who doesn't want to play sports and is told there's something wrong with him if he doesn't want to, or if he doesn't recite the Pledge of Allegiance exactly the way he's supposed to, or doesn't want to do it at all, is considered defective and gets in trouble, right? Or someone who doesn't want to pray in school, assuming you went to a religious school and there's something wrong with them.
It was like seeing a dog beaten.
Right, buddy. Can verify this with any but hand-drawn pictures, assuming you actually are a North Korean and you can provide proof that you're a North Korean, like showing some kind of ID.
That was the most effective way. There hasn't been a single demonstration in North Korea for the last 50 years. If you know your family will be taken away, who would dare demonstrate?
Oh, the Middle East would.
I leave South Korea.
But then again,
Served by
oh my God.
this Charles' continued absence.
It's not really much to have on social unrest about if you actually knew anything about North Korea, but seeing this guy, I would seriously doubt is anything like that.
Kim Jong-il's regime acknowledges a
But he was in a prison camp, so he saw the rest of the country and was able to actually tell that there were, you know, protests or riots even going on, right? Well, I mean, he was in a prison camp as a child, so he could totally tell.
more freedom per head than almost any country in the world.
Probably true,
But the government has been unwilling
considering you're not allowed to trade with them.
to see just where their aid is going. Nor has it granted access to places where Charles still people starving.
Because maybe this isn't even real. You know, the guy who never actually showed up and haven't even showed us any evidence actually exists.
Action against hunger.
Whoa.
When it saw children starving on the streets and in
Well, this guy's got actual photos this time. Okay, looks like an orphanage. And from that one picture we've seen so far, it looks like one just about any Western country.
North Korea's handling of international aid. Action against hunger and other agencies say it's being withheld from those who need it most. They say it's being
Yeah, we can totally tell.
from the party faithful, but there's deliberate diversion.
But what would be the point of doing so?
Kim Jong-il still expects aid from the West as the food crisis worsens.
Well, if you'd let them fucking trade, then you'd think it would be a lot better for them. They wouldn't have to beg for aid if you could conduct economic trade, which you've blocked against them, so they're not allowed to do,
Corn from the US
because you subsidize the shit out of it.
cross is being sold on the black market to those few North Koreans with the money to buy.
And we can tell this is a market, right? Because we can see the money being exchanged.
The
Was
label here reads, a present from America.
didn't actually see an exchange of cash taking place, so you can totally tell that was a transaction and not like some kind of very shabby distribution center, considering people actually do live on rations there.
Those children don't know about the international aid.
Oh, except the ones that were just right next to it, right?
Doesn't reach the people.
Because you just said they were walking around the market where it was being sold illegally, with it written in English. So they must know something.
The people are hopeless.
Oh my God. Kim Jong-il's smiling. It's a smile of evil. It's a close-up on a television.
It can't go on like this.
No, it just can't.
All I can think about is to continue with my work.
But if his work, wasn't that the guy before who said he was a refugee, and not the guy who was supposedly taking the pictures? I thought you couldn't find this guy. Well, now all of a sudden it's him, even though the silhouette looks exactly the same as the guy who was an escaped refugee and afraid to show his face. You know, the ones that totally even look North Korean too, right? So basically he badmouthed North Korea and then got an award for it. Wow. There's a surprise. Come on. We haven't even actually shown anything. Oh, the unimaginable threat of the nuclear annihilation. Nuclear nightmare with America, even though it's scientifically proven that the nuclear missiles can't even actually reach America. They can get as far as Japan, and that's it. My God, this was terrible.